Mark, start by introducing your friends. After the introduction, all
Good
new
morning.
members-
Thank you for all being here today. Thank you on Zoom. I'd like everybody in this front row to stand up, please. This is my bride. We went to kindergarten, and then we finally got married 33 years later or so. It took a long courtship. She's my better half. Keeps me out of trouble, keeps me doing things right. This is Miss Nancy Sanderson. She's in charge of our education for our Wartime Museum. Miss Nancy has spearheaded the education committee. We only have about 30 people. And one of the models of the Kiwanis is to teach children and to help children in the world. If you see anything she does, and we'll give you some statistics, it's amazing what we've done in a short 3 to 4 years with our education program. So our model overlaps your model. Nancy, she's a Rosie the Riveter today, so she's looking like this. Rosie started in 1943, and some people say it was the beginning of women's lib to some degree, but they were very important in World War II. We had a lot of people that were Rosie the Riveters here in Evansville. This young lady, Margie, and she's married to this young man, Dallas Fleener, F-L-E-N-E-R, probably pronounce it right or wrong. He helps run our simulators at the museum. Simulators we'll talk about, but Mr. Kafowitz was at the simulators with his grandkids and is going back out there. And then Margie runs the front desk and helps us with all kinds of things. So these 5 people, were one of 192 volunteers. I just telling you, 192. So they do everything. I can't compliment these people enough than the other 100 and whatever. Okay, go ahead, sit down.
New members orientation.
Give me a clock and tell me if you can hear me all right. Okay, first slide if we can. Some of these slides are going to be too small to read, so don't try to read. I know all of you can read, but don't try. Just the pictures I found out today, they're a little on the small on the print, so don't worry about it. That just says what Mr. Don just said. Said I'm a doctor and said I'm retired U.S. Navy. My father's retired Navy as well. Next slide. I'm going to just raise my hand for change of slides. I don't see them, so I have to turn around. There I am. You can see my belly. I've been told I'm supposed to lose weight. I was on Atkins diet for about a month, and that got boring because there's no French fries on that diet. Next slide when we get moving. Don't worry about it. So a little bit about the Wartime Museum. If you see our emblem here, it has several things on it. The emblem has a tank that you're going to understand about a tank when we get done. We have a tank here in Evansville. We've got it here about 4 years ago. We give rides in the tank. And they charge $100 a ride. And I said, you're never going to get anybody to ride that tank for $100. Within the first 3 months, we are sold out. There's no shops in it. It's probably 120 degrees, and there's no room in it. And once you get in, you got to get out. So I'm advertising. I'm sure all of you want to go tomorrow. The tank's in the repair shop right now. It's only 67,000 pounds, so it takes a lot of work, and we've got a lot of people working on it. We're going to get some slides up there?
I'm working on
Okay, don't worry. We'll go without them if we don't have. Okay, so that's a tank is one. That's a symbol. We also have a plane on there. Now, the tanks in World War II, we refurbished about 1,600 of them. That means we took them apart and put them back together. The kids out there pull them up. They practiced in the United States. They also brought some back from Europe. The United States made 50,000 World War II. The Germans made about 24,000. The Russians made 120,000. But we made other types of tanks, so we were a total of 80,000. Pretty important in World War II. Evansville Chrysler did that. So what else did Evansville Chrysler do? And I'm sure some of your family worked there. But Evansville Chrysler did do some other things in our city. They came in 1935. That was in the middle of our recession. And if you talk to your parents, grandparents, they lived during that difficult times. Unemployment was close to 15%. Evansville had 12% unemployment in 2008, 2009. We cried like a baby. We had 15% unemployment for over a decade. So you don't think those people suffered. And so all of a sudden Chrysler shows up, 35, gives us jobs. 239 Chryslers made a day. They left in 59, mostly because of trains. But they also showed the world that we could be an industrial city. So it was very symbolic. It helped us in our World War II contracts. Okay, you're ready. All right, next slide. That just says my name up there, and you can't read it. Next slide, I want to spend a moment on this. That's our pride and joy. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. If you look at where the blue is, that's the gas tank on this. It's two big pieces of rubber, great big rubber bladders. And so when I shoot a bullet in that bladder, the second bladder expands. It's called self-sealing gas tanks. And we had that in World War II. The enemy didn't have that all the time, but if you lose your gas, you got to get back home. That was pretty unique for the Americans. On the right side of that wing, there's a little hole near the pilot's area, but that is a camera. All the planes in World War II had cameras on them that were fighters and bombers, so you could see if we were lying or they were lying or how many real kills we got. And also it was good for reconnaissance. So as soon as that plane landed, they took the film out, put more film in. When they pulled the bullets on that plane, there's four guns on the right, 4 on the left. You can't see it, but when you come and visit us, you will see it firsthand. They're Browning automatics, 50 caliber, about as tall as me. When four bullets come out of the right side, 4 bullets come out of the left side. 23 seconds, all 2,000 bullets are gone. The power of that is your truck outside, if you drove a truck going 50, 60 miles an hour, it will knock over a locomotive. It will knock over a tank. That's how strong that plane is. It also was good at dropping bombs. Skip bombs is what you call it. Missiles were also used on the wing, but they weren't very successful. How many did we make of these? We made 6,242 here in Evansville in a 3-year period of time. Never made a plane before in our life. That was a Whirlpool. Now I'm going to give you a little symbol of Whirlpool. So it became Republic Aviation, International Harvester, then Whirlpool. Okay, lost Whirlpool in 2010 or 12. One line in the Evansville paper that we lost Whirlpool. Employed 10 to 15,000 people for 5 decades here. Sorry, you're gone. Well, it was very important to our society. Many of your family probably worked at Whirlpool. That plane also, if you look at the cowling's different than the other, it's an egg-shaped front. That's the hole right by where the front of the great big hole in the front. That's the air intake. Now, most of the other fighter planes in World War II, you take Zeros, you take Messerschmitts from Germany, you take the Spitfire. Those all were about 10,000 pounds. This is 17,000 pounds full, and they were all water cooled. So I'm going to go out in the parking lot, take my pistol, and shoot at every one of your radiators. And none of you are going to get home if you live more than 10 miles. You need the radiator to move. All the other planes had radiators. Had water cooled. So this thing had advantage. It'd come back with, instead of 18 cylinders, 14 cylinders. The Germans hated this plane because they couldn't knock it down. It had self-sealable gas tank. Only if you had to pilot could it come down. But it was just they call it the jug. You stand it upside like this, it looks like a milk jug. So a tremendous plane made here, mostly by women. You see the rivets make it real smooth on the wing, help the aerodynamics. 150,000 rivets in there. This young lady was a Rosie, the riveter here. She imitated one. You got a gun like this, a rivet gun, it's heavy. You stand there all day, and you put a rivet in, somebody on the other side is holding what you call a piece of steel or lead all day long. 150,000 rivets, and mostly women did that. So I'm very proud of that. Now, how many of these did we make? How long did it take us to make? We made 10 a day. We made one every 2.5 hours. Go Henry Ford. He made these things called B-18s, Bomber 18, at Wilmer Rock. He made one every 63 minutes. We made it in one every 120 and 30, 150 minutes. So Henry Ford's ahead of us. But Henry Ford was way ahead. He started in the middle of 41 to start this stuff. So you ought to be proud of your ancestors. They found work ethic in Evansville, and I'll show you how they got this work ethic. But they had work ethic. You got work ethic into your genes, because most of you haven't left here. Now we're a transient society, and so a lot of us leave, but a lot of good genes around here. And I'll tell you why, and we'll show you some other things why. That plane is amazing. Now that's a little sign. You see the Whirlpool sign? Can't read it. But that was up in front of Whirlpool about 50 years, and somebody stole it about 10 years ago. Next sign. So we put another one up in front of our museum. It took us 2 years to get it all approved. And that's a sign just selling how important Republic Aviation was and also Whirlpool was to our society. So that tells a little bit about that. Next slide, please. All right. Now, this is a sign that we got put up. We were the prime mover in this. What the heck is it? It's on 7 signs as you enter our city. What does it mean? Well, I told everybody, nobody knows what it means. It says a World War II heritage city. Well, now you're going to know for tomorrow. The National Park System has a grant that can be given. They give honors to different cities. We were the 19th city in the United States to be designated World War II city. Now, when I get done here, you're going to know why. If you come out of the museum, you're going to know why. Because what we did during World War II. And we're designated the 19th city in the United States. Now there's 34 designated. There's going to be one in Indiana, and the one in Indiana is Evansville, Indiana. That's why you should be proud. And under that, it should say in that sign, only one in Indiana, one of only 34 in the United States of what we did. The contracts, how do you make that plane? We got to pay for that plane. That plane cost, that we showed you a minute ago, cost $67,000. Right now, it would cost you 92 times that. It's $6.2 million on the market right now. So we bought it about 3 or 4 years ago for half that, 6.2. But we had to bring that relic back to Evansville. It was an Evansville plane and Evansville heritage. So we brought it back for that reason. Next slide. Now, that's the list of board members. You can't read any of them, I am sorry. But I can't read them either. But I'll just tell you, Nancy Sanderson's a board member. I can tell you, Dr. Smith, the head of the school system, just retired. I have Richard Smith. He's a retired lieutenant or full bird colonel in the Army, and he was the head of strategic planning at Old National Bank, and he's our strategic planner. I got 2 CPAs on there. We got tons of people. We got Dr. Blanc. I got so many good people on there. You can't believe Wayne Trockman, Sam Trockman. And I just can't list them all. And you can't read any of them. It's my fault. I was going to change the slides, but time ran out. Next slide. I had 2 lists there, about 20 board members. Next slide, please. And that's the set, Tim Bray. I just can't list them all. Mike Elliott, Mike Beavers. Go next slide, please. Bruce Green, John Dunn, Rick Casco, Emeritus. All right, now this is our employees. We got 3 paid employees, 2 with master's degrees in museum studies, and 1 with a bachelor's degree from USI. So I'll show you them later in the slides. Next slide, please. How am I doing on time? About 15 minutes going?
You've got like 10 minutes.
Left?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, next slide. Next slide. All right, next slide. Okay. That just says we've got a bunch of grants. We're working hard to get grants, get some of this paid for. So we've got matching grants and other thing. I can just tell you, we've got an elevator in there for old people. We've got a library I'm going to show you. We've got an archives room that's museum quality. You need that for archiving. You saw the plane, that's one of our objects. We got 14,999 other ones there in archiving, good temperature, good control. So you got things in your garage, your attic. I want them. And want to put them out there because what you're going to do is your kids are going to get them, they're going to throw them in Goodwill. And nobody's going to know what they're about. So you need to describe them, and we'll put them in our archives if we need them. Okay. We have uniforms, I'm going to show you. We have 422 uniforms. Now we put your uniform up and describe what you did during the war. Next slide. Next slide. That's just how many volunteers. I already told you that. Employees, and we have had 10,000 volunteer hours last year. These people are workers, just like you guys. I watched you the other day. You're workers. Next slide. That way, yeah, okay. That's only 11 volunteers out of 195. That's at the VFW downtown. Our roof blew off last year with a tornado. 140 miles an hour wind hit our door and blew our roof off, and we survived. And we opened the doors up in 3 months. A new portable roof and now a brand new roof. Those people help. This is the VFW. We have a lunch and learn once a month, or twice a month, first and third Thursday. Sponsored by the Bronze Team. You get a free sandwich. But you have to be over than 55. and we're checking IDs. So if you want to come, we're going to check IDs. So you have to be more than 55 or you don't get in. My wife is strict on that. And so no free sandwich and no sitting there if you're younger than 55. Okay. So that we had that sponsored there. We only have about 150, 175 people at each one. And it's not a steak though. It's usually just a sandwich. Okay, next slide. That's a doughboy. Where was that doughboy? He went down the Ohio River in 1937. That's a World War I statue. That's one of our volunteers teaching, knows all about tanks and every war in the world. That's Mr. Reed. And there's some people watching. But that's those two pictures in the back you can't see, but those are the two Funkhauser boys. You heard of the Funkhauser boys? They're both lost in World War I. One from nitrogen mustard, one from a gunshot wound. Next slide. That mother and dad were distraught. And you heard Funkhauser boys on the west side. That's our Red Cross troop. Our Red Cross troop. I'm just giving you a smatter of what we got. We got so many things I can't go over. But this is Red Cross troop. Now, was Red Cross important? Next slide, please. It says a sign there. You can't read that either, but it says 1.6 million soldiers went through the Red Cross room. We have a register of them. Now, how many soldiers in World War II? 16 million. 10% of the soldiers in the United States went through Evansville, signed that book, and got a free meal at that Red Cross. Unbelievable. We were in the center of the society. So 97% of troops went by train at that time. They were steam engines, so you had to get the steam every 100 miles. And it was a hard ride for these kids. Next slide. How much time I got left? Sylvie, how much time? That guy.
10 minutes. I got
No.
7 and then questions.
7, okay, 7 and then questions. This guy, top guy's Mayor Dress. He's about 6'4". His grave's out at the Lutheran Cemetery in St. Joe. But this guy was instrumental in doing things. And next slide, I'm going to show you the guys on the bottom there. Okay, the guy on the left, I think, is a hero of World War II. His name's Knudson, K-N-U-D-S-O-N. Now, the people from Evansville went to Washington, D.C. in July of 1941. When did Japan hit us? December 7th. July, we knew there was war coming. Look at the papers in 38, 39, 40. We knew it was coming, so we were proactive. That cat down on the bottom is Knudson. Now, he was a friend of Ruthenberg. You heard of Ruthenberg who ran Cervelle. And Ruthenberg got them together along with Walter Cook, along with these guys called Bainey Camp Rome, who's our congressman, along with Dress, along with the union members and the factory workers. They went to Washington, D.C., and they got 2 hours with that guy on the bottom and those other 3 guys I showed you. Those guys were in charge of the industrial infrastructure in the United States. That's what won World War II. And Evansville was part of it. We had $600 million in federal money. How much did we have before World War II? $2 billion. How much did it take to make the atom bomb? It took $2 billion. How much did it take the B-29? $3 billion. So we were 1/3 of the cost of what it took to make the atom bomb. That's how much we have. We had 80 factories, 330 products, and 3 of our factories had 40,000 people. The LST plant had 19,000 employees. Republic Aviation had 7, and Chrysler had 13. That's 40,000 employees. Our biggest employer right now is Deacon St. Mary's and Toyota at 5,000 each. We had 19,000 go through the turnstiles for the whatever that LST. Next one. I got 5. Okay, that's E Award. There's 85,000 factories in World War II. We had, I said 80 factories. We got 41 E awards. Only 5% of factories got an E award. This company got 4 E awards. The flag, and then 3 stars there. Next slide. It says high good production, safety, everything else. You know McLeod, he came here and talked, I'm sure. You read his book. Warriors in World War II, you know how many we lost? 405,000. In the First World War, we lost 110. How many people we lose in a factory? Just give me a guess in World War II. Give me a guess. 100,000, 200,000, a million, 2 million, 10 million. 1 million lost in the factories, and we lost 405,000 bullets. Now, he may be wrong, but he's probably not that far off, but 1 million. So we didn't have OSHA, we didn't have all these things. So we had all these workers that are dead that were supporting us as our industrial infrastructure. Next slide. That's Evansville. And that's why they came here, because we had a river, we had a railroad, we had airport, we had planes coming. You read Mike Wicker's book from Wright, he talks about Back to Valhalla. There it is. And that lady in Valhalla, she swam the river. She's the best swimmer around. Lived above Knotty Pine. You read that book, it'll tell you about But that boat was famous. My dad was on it for 4 years in World War II. Okay, the front opens up, and when you look at Dunkirk, how much time I got? 3 minutes, okay. You read about Dunkirk, they were pushed 350 Englishmen into the water, and they had 2 weeks to get on boats to get out there. And stupid Hitler, and he's stupid, somehow he changed his mind and didn't push all those guys in the water. So after that, Churchill said, you don't get men and machines to the land, you're never going to win this war. That one got them there, right there. We made 1,100 and something LSTs in World War II. Made more than anybody else in the United States right here in Evansville. We made 167. More than anybody else. Everybody's at the same starting point. So we got to finish line with more. Okay? These things were well done. The welding was done. Mostly women were doing a lot of this work. And where's the LST? How many LSTs are left in the world? 1. Right there in Evansville. So you better bring your grandkids out to our museum. You better bring your nieces and nephews out to our museum. And we'll tell you about that. And you better bring them that LST. Okay, this is tremendous. That's what's going on in Evansville. And if you don't teach them, they're going to learn. Your motto says, help children. They better start learning. And that's the way to learn. They can't get all this in high school. We test everybody. And we find there's not much understanding of World War II. I asked about the atom bomb. We got an atom bomb talk coming up on August 7th. I've asked my nurses, where that happened in 1964 over in Vietnam. I said, what in the heck did you... I had it embedded in me by my parents, but it's not happening in this day and age. You have to know that's the most catastrophic thing that ever happened to civilization. If kids don't even know about the atom bomb, and you got to teach them. And every one of you are the teachers, and every one of you got to bring your kids out to, and your grandkids out to our museum and take them to LST and other places. What do you want for Christmas, Grandma? I want you to take me to the War Museum. What do you want for Christmas, or what do you want for your birthday? Bring out the War Museum, quit buying them cakes. Just take them out there. Okay, how many? 1 minute?
I'm giving you 2.
Okay, 2 more. Okay, another slide. Okay, no. That's LST is a great big Jonas the whale. It lands. Now, why did we make them here? Because they get all the way down. They're 500 inland and 500 on the coast. We made them and they went down the Ohio River. The level in the Ohio River was 8 feet at that time. So it's a 7 feet dragging it back empty and 1 in the front so it could get down the Ohio River without getting stuck. So we made all those cornfield LSTs. Next one. Well, that's the size. Okay, I can fit 3 LSTs in a football field. Go to Harrison, 3 of them. Harrison's 150 feet wide, 330 feet long. So you can fit 3 of them in there. Always look at LST. 3 LSTs fit in a football field, 3 of them. They're 50 feet wide, the football field's 150. 3 of those in there. And look at that P-47, that's not very big. That's about 30, 40 feet long. Next slide. Come on, next slide. Okay, that's last one. This is Bailey Bridges. Go to Trotwood Junkyard, they're made of that. These things were extras in 1953. Okay, we're making a bridge over Henderson. It'll be done in a couple of years, maybe. Okay, the Rhine River, we crossed it in 1 day. Montgomery, Patton, 1 day because of these bridges. These are hooked together and you put pontoons under them. We made them in Evansville at International Steel. We made these things and we made crossing the Rhine 1 day. 1 day. Now, you get to 69, I don't know about that 1 day thing. Okay. All right, so now we have questions. I have to quit because I got too much else to cover. Okay, questions and answers.
All right, do you want to do this one and I'll run around with the mic? Uh-oh, where's the first hand?
He'll love it. He'll love it. Mark, where is the museum?
This is Eddie Ziemer. He makes me so mad. I asked him, he's born and raised here all his life. I said, Eddie, you gotta go north 41 and take a ride to old 57 at the windmill. And the windmill's opening up, they're gonna have the new donuts of Bigfoot. Okay, so you gotta get some donuts too. You take a ride, get your donut, and come out to the museum, and we're open Thursday through Monday, most of the time. 8 to 4, in a couple of days, we're open 12 to 4. Sunday, we got it open late, and Thursday got that lunch and learn. And I haven't seen you out there yet, Eddie. I know it's too far. Thank you for that good question. That's real deep.
Hi, Martha Steele. I have 2 brief things. We had a big family reunion in Cincinnati. Rich Smith is my brother-in-law, and Earl Seal, who was a mechanic on the P-47, has a display at the Wartime Museum. And Rich did a big presentation about the Evansville Wartime Museum to all of these relatives that came in from around the country. So it was really nice. And he also had membership brochures.
I'm gonna give him a promotion and give him a raise.
I think he needs a raise.
Okay, we'll give him a raise, 0 to 0. I'm gonna tell you, Tom, I didn't know he did that. He didn't tell me any of that.
Well, he lied a little bit, but I helped him stay on path.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we got another question. Make them a little shallow. I don't want the deep questions. Like Eddie's, where the directions are. Eddie, I'm glad you told them because they didn't know. I didn't bring that up at the top.
Hi, Sean Kuykendall. This is more of a comment. You talked earlier about the importance of taking kids. Our Y came out and volunteered at the run that you did to raise money. We brought a group of kids from the Centerpoint Energy Y, which this club is backed, and we took a group of kids out there. We did some things to kind of help them raise money. Our kids took the tour of the museum that day. Kathy Renner paid for it herself personally. But then over the summer, we had 3 groups, a part of our reading program we do, we had a lot of rain on Fridays over the summer, so we had to find other field trips because we couldn't go swimming with the kids. We called out there and they allowed our kids to come for free. So we took 2 or 3 groups over the summer of our kids from our schools out there, and our adults got an opportunity to learn, but then the kids did too. So it's more of a comment, but thank you for doing that. So a lot of our Centerpoint Energy friends got an opportunity to get through the Wartime Center.
Yeah, we got several grants to help with kids that don't have any money. So we right now, I mean, we're so busy. I didn't say that, but we had 1,500 kids in 2023, 1,500 in 2024 with no roof, and 24 we're at 1,600 kids plus some seniors, and Nancy's spearheading that. And if kids don't have any money, we just pay to we got a grant to pay for it. So we're doing like you do, and we're doing it in spades, and we're going to keep doing it. And we need to be you part of us, and we'll be join your organization. I'll get those 5 people up there to join today.
Skip forward. We were in Normandy 2 years ago, right after the commemoration, and going through the museum, we happened to come across a box that had Evansville, Indiana on it, 45 bullets. The bullets were made, and they had a box there that said Evansville right on it. So very proud of that. And we also found all the LSTs that were involved in D-Day, and ours was right there also in that situation. So
Yeah, ours went back and forth after D-Day. It was a 3-day trip, 1 day over, load up, and 1 day back, 3 days, every day since June 6th, 1944. I talked about the bullets. We only made 4 billion bullets in Evansville. There were 40 billion made in World War II. We made 10% of the bullets in World War II right here in Evansville, Indiana, and mostly women. And if you could make 100 bullets a minute, it'd take you from the Revolutionary War till now to make all those bullets. And women mostly did, and they don't get all the credit. And daycare started there because all these women were working. They had to put those kiddos somewhere. Next slide.
Dr. Brown and Tom Kassenbrock, you mentioned P-47 and LSTs. Do you know or can you recall how many tanks we repaired here, Chrysler?
1,623 we repaired, and we took them out by North High School, and they had a track, and they put some of the pilots in there, and they'd race them. When we first got our tank, we had some 23-year-old, and he was racing that thing. We finally got him out of the driver's seat because I think it was hurting. It hurt it a little bit. But think of these kids, they take them all apart. The grousers weigh 1,000 to 2,000 pounds each, and they took the whole thing apart, put it back together, and they got them all running. So that was that we were refurbishing. We didn't make the tanks in Evansville, but it's out by North High School. You still see some grass. We also made incendiary bombs at Chrysler. So if you look at Japan, we burned them up between February of 45 to June of 45, and they still wouldn't give up. There was more deaths from that than the atom bomb, from burning them up. And a lot of incendiary bombs were made from here, and the buildings are still left over there by the old North High School. Yes, sir.
I remember 1952, my brother worked at Chrysler. They were building Plymouths here in Evansville. I got to go to their open house. I'll never forget that. No, what I'd like to mention is, first of all, I taught school, junior high kids for 42 years.
Put the microphone right there.
Social studies, yes. I taught social studies, and I was on the adoption committee, adopting textbooks. And my challenge is, since there is a possibility that we're going to go back to state-regulated education, in our country, that we, as not only seniors, but as in our community, we need to get involved in having representation on adoption of textbooks so we can preserve some of this history in our books so these kids will learn a little more about World War II and other things like that.
Can you give us a mechanism of how we can do that? And Nancy, that's your next job. No, but we need a mechanism of how to get to the state. We don't get into the government and some of that things, it just doesn't happen the right way. So, but I look at the school system, we're watching all these kids coming through, what they know. They just don't have much time for World War II, and they don't have much time for Evansville history, and so you got to get it another way.
Hello, I'm Paul Metcalf. Thank you for what you do, and I'm thinking about Donna Bone as well as Alan and all the kids that they interacted with over the years. Do you have any idea how many children they talk to at schools?
We did it, okay, what he's talking about is Alan Sanderson, we went to Harrison with him, and we took World War II veterans to schools. Every school, it went about 2 months long, and we went every day. And we took a veteran with us, either I talked, or Donna Bone talked, or somebody talked. The history teachers didn't like it, because they got to sit and do nothing. But I think they should just relax, but they could have taught the same thing, but we were allowed to do that in the school system 4, 5, 6 years, then they cut us out. Because they said, so during their World War II area, we did talk, but Donna Bone has, she's now we're doing a rotation through the city. We get you on a bus, and we take you to all the World War II spots, not all of them, but some, about 15 World War II spots. We stop, show what the factory looked like then, talk about it, and show you what it is now. She gets a job, and then she just goes. She's helped create the World War II house there that a guy, Jim Kamser, helped build from industrial contractors, and Walter Kyle. And she helped her first room, and she gets an assignment and then just goes after it, okay? And we've got so many people like that. I can't believe it. I mean, I am absolutely amazed every time I walk in there of those volunteers and what they do. I have never seen anything like it in my life, because they see value, they see empowerment, and they see worthwhile use of their time. And that's why those people in the front row are there, and they're there a lot. And I can't believe, I said 10,000 hours, have people don't register their time. It's probably 20,000 hours. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Sorry.
All right, thank you very much. I think we want to get all of you up for a picture. Only you'll have to share the mug. But all of you are welcome back anytime to tell us more or join our group.
Give them an application.
This Kiwanis K Club, Elvis was in it. You heard of Elvis Presley? He was in this K Club.
We're going to start boasting about that.
I'm telling you, this is a stand-up act. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, oh, and I think we do have some information here about the celebration of the 80th anniversary coming up on August 31st. Martha, would you help pass these out?
Sure.
It's a free event, I believe, but lots of good things going on there. 80 years. Holy cow. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Browning, for the work you do, the passion you bring to it. And yeah, we're all standing a little taller knowing what Evansville's done.